Hi folks, it's Rita from Miss Rita to the Rescue, and I am here today. It's International Women's Day. Happy Women's Day, all my womanly friends. And one of the most favorite things that I like in the world is being crafty, and also I love flowers. So I am happy today to be talking to you about this project that I've been working on, which is another frame that I am starting to accent with these rolled flowers. Rolled flowers, believe it or not, start with this. A piece of paper that I cut out with my Cricut, of course, and using an old cartridge that is one of my favorites of all time. It's called Flower Shop, and it's Shoppe, S-H-O-P-P-E, and you can find this cartridge very easily. If you have Cricut Access, it's most likely free because all of the Cricut Access images are free if you're an Access member. But the Flower Shop cartridge is an oldie but goodie, and this allowed me to make all these wonderful flowers, and I am going to come back and show you how to put one of these together. And it does require the use of a glue gun. So if you're like me and you hate glue guns, this, you're gonna see me burn my fingers, I'm sure, but I do it for you. I do it for you, so you can learn what it's like, and I'm happy to do it for you. So stay with me. I'll be right back. Hi everyone, I'm back, and we're talking about quilled or rolled flowers. These are flowers that are cut from paper, and they're cut in like a spiral, and then they were rolled using a tool. It's called a quilling tool, and for my long time, my OG Cricut friends, perhaps you remember having gotten one of these way back in the day, and it is a quilling tool, and I'm going to show you how to use it. I'm going to show you it up close. But if you don't have if you haven't been with Cricut this long, or you can't seem to acquire a quilling tool, then you can also use something like this. I have also heard of people who have come up with the contraption where they attach it to their cordless drill, and they do this. I personally, I couldn't go that fast, but oh, God love them, because I don't know, they're so innovative to come up with that. But I kind of can see their passion, because this is one of those projects, once you start it, you kind of just want to do it everywhere. And so I wanted to caution you first that when you're doing this project, it uses a lot of paper, and sometimes people don't have a lot of paper, and I wanted to tell you about this paper. This is a Recollections brand paper that is, I think is only distributed by Michaels. When you check the sales at Michaels, sometimes you can pick these up, which is, it's a 65-pound weight, which is a really nice weight of 50 sheets, and usually they put it together with, I don't know if you can see this. This one's called Strawberry Cream, but you have 5 different colors to choose from. I find these packs just absolutely invaluable with working with my Cricut. And yes, I know they're 8.5 by 11, but we can trick our machines out to work with smaller and bigger size paper. So we have to remember that it doesn't have to be 12 by 12 paper that we're working from every time. And also we can use scraps. Scraps are great too. So I wanted to point out, so if you're going to start a project like this and you get started on it and you're thinking, where am I going to get all the paper? consider that source. Okay, so these images come from an old cartridge, an old Cricut cartridge. I'm going to pull this off. This is a fairly new mat, so I'm going to pull this off here. But I got 2 of these circles, and you can change the size of these circles. I made them in I think that the file has 3 different, it has 3 different sizes and 5 or 4 different types. So this is what happens. You cut them out and they come out like a circle. If you're using 8.5 by 11 sheet, notice that I moved these to fit with my 8.5 by 11 sheet. And believe me, once you get started with these, you're going to want to have a whole pile that you can do, and you can sit in front of the TV and do it. It's fun. So that's the paper. Next, you're going to need something that's called a quilling tool. Mine, look at how old it is. It's a Cuttlebug, which used to package Cuttlebug plates that would make little flowers. And the flowers were really, they were strips. Like they made daisies and stuff like that. I still have the Cuttlebug plates, and the Cuttlebug for that matter. And this came with one of those old kits. But you don't have to have been with Cricut all this time to do this. You can buy a quilling tool. I got this one. I think I got it at AC Moore. AC Moore has quilling stuff. Michael's does not, so don't bother with Michael's for quilling tools. Sometimes you can find this stuff at Joann's, but this one I think I got at AC Moore. If you don't have or cannot find a quilling tool, something like this, which is actually a Cricut tool, and it's a tweezer. You can also use the tweezer, but this Cricut tool is great because it can grab your edge of your paper, and you can work around it. But since I have a quilling tool and I'm used to it, I'm gonna show you what you do. So this is a, let me do the yellow one because it's prettier. So let's see, I grab the edge with this split, it's almost like a split fork, right? Now I grab the edge of the outside edge of my cut design. And then I start, and I do use both my hands. This hand is the one that I use to turn it. And this hand is the one that I use to shape the paper. And you see I'm shaping and turning it in to itself, okay? And I work my way. And when you get better at this, you'll go faster, of course. And you might come up with a little trick or two that you could teach me. Like, how do I keep it so that there we go. All right. And I'm using my fingers and my thumb to sort of keep that tool from not like tunneling there, but to keep it making a really tight spiral. Another trick that you might want to try is you might want to condition the paper a little tiny bit before you go to spiral it. I'm going to show you how to condition the paper in just a second. But so I am still working, and you see my flower is starting to take shape. And seriously, what did that take me? A few seconds, right? I get to the end, and I'll show it to you. So I have this little, I don't know, a tab. You want to call it a tab? Let's call it a tab. So, and that basically that is the bottom part of your flower. Now you could do one of two things here. So you have your flower, but it's put together, but it's not glued, okay? So you can glue it just like that, and you'll end up with a sort of a closed bud. Let me show you what, this is one that has not been let to go loose. I did this and I put the glue here on the tab before I let it loose. Others, like this one, I took it off the tool and then I just let it sort of spin out, and then I sort of worked them a little bit. So it depends on how you like. This one is sort of halfway there. And This one is really close. So it depends on what you like. If you want to wait and if you want to let it go out, I'm going to show you what it's like to let it go out. See? And then you're going to take your handy dandy glue gun, which you guys know I am not a big fan of the glue gun, but I do it for you, okay? So we get my cordless glue gun, and you can either put the glue here on this tab, or if you want to be brave, you can put the glue here around the back end, right? I mostly, because I hate getting burned, I put it on the tab, and then I carefully put the tab right onto the back, and while I'm waiting for it to catch, I might like do this to flip some of the things out. Now, I used to do this with glue, like white glue, and I tried all kinds, including the Scotch quick dry and everything else. It takes an awful lot longer to get it to set, and so I had to choose between quick, which is the glue gun, or slower, which is the paste kind, the liquid, right? So I think when it came down to it, it was about quantity for me. This quantity of all of these wonderful flowers that I made for this project, it was so much easier for me to hit it with the glue gun and just try to be careful. So there's my argument against, actually for a glue gun, even if you do get burned, like I get burned all the time. So anyway, once you have collected a bunch of these, and by the way, you will like be cutting these out and saying, oh, I can sit in front of the TV and do this, and you will. Once you have them done, you can attach them to things like this frame, and this is really pretty. I'm thinking about putting some up here as well. I've seen people put them on over the entire frame. I particularly like this color scheme. I thought it was nice, and I think because it's a floating frame, it doesn't have a back, I'm going to probably put a vinyl spring decal there, a spring I don't know, saying that I cut with the Cricut vinyl, and then I'll have a nice gift or a home decor item. But isn't that really cute? Seriously, again with the expenses, I know. I'm New England, I'm a Yankee, so I'm a very frugal person. And this is one of those frames that I picked up on the fly, you know, couple dollars. I don't ever pay more than a couple dollars. I always buy them on sale. And then, of course, this wonderful paper that I get from Michael's, which when I get them on sale costs me about $2 for 50. So I can sometimes I get 2 flowers on each page. It means I get 100 flowers out of one chuck of this, you know. And it does come in like basic colors as well. So that is the project for today. I'm going to send you the Design Space file. Remember, my Design Space files are always free for you to use. You do not need to be a member, an Access member, to use the file. However, I do use Access images. So if you are an Access customer, that's the image subscription service. If you're an Access customer, the benefit of being an Access customer is that all my files use all Cricut Access images. So you won't pay anything else except for your raw materials. Once you have the machine and you have the subscription, basically you're just going to use what you have to create something really wonderful. So thanks very much for coming. My name is Rita, and I am from Miss Rita to the Rescue. You can catch me here on my YouTube channel, which I'm very much enjoying. I would love it if you subscribed. I'm trying to hit the number 100. My son is anxiously awaiting for me to hit 100. He asks me every day, what are you up to? And I think as of this taping, I was up to 67 people. So maybe we can throw it, you know, out of the ballpark this time. So could you subscribe? And also you can find me all other places. I'm easy to find. Miss Rita to the rescue. Thanks for coming today, and I hope you make it a great day.